bringing this sort of rhetoric on himself, in my opinion, because he's actually opening up and asking to be patted on the back, and he wants his team to be patted on the back for progressing. But it's Manchester United. Would he not be better saying, you know what, I do think we're taking small steps forward, but you know what, at the end of the day, Manchester United needs to be first, not second. We need to be winning trophies. If he came out with that rhetoric, then we wouldn't be sitting talking about, is he too soft, or is part of the reason is because the culture is soft? If we knew that he was all he's interested in is number one. Because every time you say, we're progressing, it's okay to be second, we're getting there, then the players swallow that, they soak it in. They seep it into their body and their mind. Get on the front foot. It's not good enough for Manchester United, and then the rhetoric around you might change.
And Stephen, that's why I said at the beginning of this segment, and I said that he's doing him no favour to do statements like this, because Manchester United is all about winning the games. But then we just also have to have a look at the culture at Manchester United, because we were there, we saw them. I was there. I was doing the last game of Mourinho in Sevilla in the Champions League, and Manchester United was gone. They were gone. And then they had, at that time, one of the best in the business to win titles for them, and Manchester United was down. And now they bring in Solskjaer, and if his mandate at the club is that to progress, get them into Champions League, steady the ship, and get young players through, like he's saying, then there's something else. Then we have to go at the whole culture at the club. I think it's so easy just to go on Solskjaer. If he gets a mandate at Manchester United and he's doing what he's doing, and I repeat myself, I don't think those kind of statements makes him any favours, but we don't know what he's telling the players in the dressing room, what it's all about to win at Manchester United. We have to put that in as well.
Don, how much of is it a personnel? You mentioned Sergio Ramos, and you look at Real Madrid, who are quite a good example of a massive club who haven't been exactly fulfilling what their fans want them of late. Yet when it comes to big matches, when it comes to the Champions League, they were far from the best team in Europe, I think it's fair to say, when they won those Champions League, but they would get it done again. And we've seen it this season. Casemiro, Modric, Kroos, all stepping up. All players with massive experience who haven't been very good this season. When it comes to big matches, though, they know exactly how to get it done. United don't have those big game players, do they?
No, I totally agree with that. Not yet. But I think the reason why Ole's not coming out and saying we need to be number one, we need to be number one, we need to be number one, is because they can't get to number one. Man City are a million miles ahead of where Man United are. So it's almost a case of if Ole comes out and says, you know, second place is not progression, we should be winning titles, he's almost setting himself up for failure. So the journalists then would probably have a field day on calling Ole out by wanting to be number one and wanting to win titles. I get it, by the way. That's the rhetoric, and that's what I'd be saying to my players. Second's no good. Second's for losers. We need to be ahead of Man City. But as it stands, they're nowhere near that. And then the Real Madrid comparison is the perfect one. You know, those players, those experienced players with loads of bottle and quality get the job done. There's too many times I watch Man United, and they can be brilliant. They can beat Man City, and you think, right, they've cracked it. This is Man United. And then there's a lot of players, and I don't want to go on about Martial because I keep saying Danny's one of these players where you can't rely on him. He's not just the only one. I'm not just digging Anthony Martial out. I'm really, really not. But there's too many players in that comfort zone where if it doesn't go well, it's all right. There's another game next week. You can't do that when you're at the very biggest of clubs.
You might think,
but boys, if we have a look at, if we're going to do a serious analysis of what's wrong with Manchester United without going on persons, but still do it. If you get David James from Swansea and you don't go for Sancho at Dortmund, I mean, can you then expect to win titles? And that is nothing to do with David James. He's a talented player who can progress and so on and so on. They had a chance to get Sancho last summer. They didn't go for it. So there is a lot of things going on at Manchester United, a lot of problems, and the only problem, and we tend to do the analyze, the only problem is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now I don't having that. It's too easy analysis.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube, and for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.